Hello, everybody. Welcome to the North American Champions. Today, we are having Misfits versus Vaguely Insane. My name is Burger. I'm joined by Imperium, and welcome in, guys.
We don't even have time to introduce this match too much. I don't think there's really much to introduce between these two teams. Because it is a David versus Goliath mammoth battle ahead of us. You've Misfits, this VIS pro level team backed by an org against Vaguely Insane, this semi-pro competitive team. This is their very first tournament, and we are seeing these two teams just fighting with all their heart and might in this series to try and make it through to the next round. We've seen Ringo Band coming out from Misfits and the very wise Vox Band coming out from Vaguely Insane, Burger.
Yeah, really smart bands coming out of these first two teams. You know, just something that we've normally seen a lot. And, you know, playing the meta can help you sometimes. Or, you know, sometimes the off meta, what you don't expect, can also help. As we see Arden being the first captain pick on the side of Misfits.
And if it's Vaguely Insane, based on what we saw yesterday, I was going to say Grace, but they've gone for the Rona. Not a bad choice, but now Vaguely Insane need to look to ban a hero that is, let's say, going to cause hassle for them. So let's say take Sky off the table. My God, you are reading my mind. Vaguely Insane, they are doing their research. Taking Sky off the table really is a strong choice. It does mean that I feel if I was Misfits, I would take Grace off the table and just expose Vaguely Insane to, let's say, pick a captain that isn't quite in the meta or maybe doesn't quite suit their playstyle.
Yep, we're gonna see this the second ban going into bonus time. Maybe if they're Misfits, they might want to take another captain off the board since Vaguely Insane hasn't picked theirs yet. Or maybe since we've got, you know, 4 viable lane picks off the board, maybe you're just gonna hella target that lane position and take away, you know, an Adagio like we saw earlier tonight. Take away the Celeste. But no, they're going to take away the Petal instead.
Interesting taking away the Petal. I don't know if that was a targeted ban based on, let's say, research Misfits would have done, but from what we saw, Petal being banned isn't really going to do much for Vaguely Insane's comp. They will have now open season to pick up Grace, which will work wonders with the Rona. A dive comp 2 heroes that work really well. The Holy Nova into the fray, into the Red Mist is going to be able to really jump on. And I called it. It made sense. We saw it so strongly last night against Pancake Sunrise. Now Misfits, maybe they have a couple of aces up their sleeve. A Celeste, a Samuel, a couple of heroes that they could pick to really kite Vaguely Insane nicely. They are a strong team, Misfits. They are VIS level pro. They have a lot of experience behind their team. They are going to be able to bring it to Vaguely Insane.
Yeah, and they do have a lot of, you know, footage up that Vaguely Insane can study as they do pick up Cruel. And maybe the wild card for Vaguely Insane is this is their first tournament. All that they have is these is the NACL matches, and that's not, you know, a ton to study off of, but we're going to see Samuel Cruel going to round out the Misfits lineup. CP Samuel, Lane, Jungle Cruel.
Yeah, that's a really good choice and pairing coming out, as a Cruel is very strong right now, is somewhat of a counter to the Rona. However, with the Grace on the side of Vaguely Insane, that does provide a lot of late game double healing with the divine intervention, double divine intervention, should I say. So I think that does go towards Vaguely Insane. If I was Vaguely Insane, I'd pick a Celeste. No, they've gone for it. Taka, that's very strong because Petal was taken off the board. Taka is going to be able to jump onto the Samuel. What might catch the Taka out, though, is the Drift and Dark coming out from Samuel. However, if he can dodge that and then potentially dodge the Cruel, the offensive style that we know Vaguely Insane have, Burger, if they can coordinate it better than we saw yesterday, then I really feel that they have a chance to take the first game against this VIS pro level team of Misfits. I'm so excited to see what Vainglory Statistics can prove, what they can go against this Goliath of a team that they are facing to try and move forward onto the quarterfinals of the NACL, Burger.
Yeah, this pedal ban makes a lot more sense now because pedal is basically the #1 cruel counter. And by taking that off the board and then picking up cruel, that's a huge advantage in Misfits' pocket as we're getting to start this game here. And last time we saw Vaguely Insane play Imperium, we saw Cocoa Butter start popping off on his heroes. We haven't seen him play Taka yet, but it'll be a real treat to see him, especially against this Goliath team, as you said.
Oh, we saw him make some of the slipperiest, most disgusting plays I've seen on any team in the NACL so far, Burger, and I'm expecting the exact same. But as I said, it's something that I did mention to the team myself today because I am proud to be in the guild. However, I am completely unbiased as a caster. I did mention that look, they just need to kind of reel it back as a team, and if you're going in on an engagement, Burger, that you go in as a 3-man team, because a team like Misfits, they are going to jump on any chance to shut you down. And they are literally just going to go, okay, you are 2, we are 3. We have the experience, we have the knowledge, we have the position that we will shut you down. So Vaguely saying if they're going to go in as a 3-man team, they go in as a 3-man team. Do not compromise any other way. And if they can do that, I really think they have an advantage. We are into this first game. Burger, I'm hyped. I'm sure you are hyped. Chat, viewers, get it out there on the stream. Let us all know who you want to see win. I want to see hashtag Vaguely Insane or hashtag Vaguely, hashtag Misfits on who you are supporting in this epic match of matches between these two teams.
What if these two teams did combine for 5v5 and they became the Vaguely Misfits? How awesome would that be? But we are going to see Ali Peterson here on Arden taking this, or going to sit in this mid bush, and Black Lotus just chilling in tri-bush waiting for an opening. And I Love Ashley and Cocoa Butter, Taka not the fastest at clearing his farm, and so they're just going to hang back for now as we see Misfits starting to push up as well.
Yeah, but just one thing to point out, Cocoa Butter has got double weapon blade on this Taka, so the clear and the initial early game aggressiveness, as we do see, rooted by I Love Ashley.
And there goes Maokai jumping on a Cocoa Butter. But Jazzville is going to take a bit of damage here. I Love Ashley doing some work with the basic attacks, but he's already so low, already forced to pop the flask. Jazzville doing really good utility management, and he will fall. So will Ashley first. Excuse me, but Maokai still alive here in this bush, just contesting this treant, and it will go to Cocoa Butter, actually, and he's going to dodge out of that strike. And Ali Peterson taking a lot of damage, being forced to pop the flask. Black Lotus going to escape with his life. I Love Ashley just doing a lot of damage onto Maokai, making him go away, and Cocoa Butter takes out Ali Peterson.
But now Coco needs to be careful.
Yep, Coco getting caught out by Maokai here. He's caught between a rock and a hard place at the moment, but the hard place is currently punching that treant, and he didn't quite get it.
What did I tell you? I told you Coco was going to be just a slippery little eel in this match, and he's playing this Taka to the full strength, as we are seeing Black Lotus is just getting shut down by those malices. That engagement, you got to be careful when you're against Samuel. Don't give him any chance, and we are seeing Jazzville playing a very strong game right now.
Oh, that huge damage from Jazzville. He landed those Malice and Verdicts so well that I Love Ashley was just forced to back, and he has picked up a heavy steel, so he's going to be doing a bit more damage. But we've seen Ashley play Rona a lot, and sometimes into some really not favorable matchups, and he's just done so much good work on this hero, but he's gonna fall to the cold, dead hands of Cruel as Black Lotus is just left to defend this turret push.
The Misfits are just having a little bit better rotation now as a three-man team, and it's what I talked about what Vainglory Statistics need to do, and they do need to do that, but we are seeing this engagement coming out from Cocoa Butter just to take the pressure off the turret, you know, and it's just that kind of like that slightly better rotation coming out from Misfits is giving them a slight early game advantage as Cocoa Butter is nearly caught out.
Cocoa Butter has to be careful. He's taking a lot of damage from the smite. Maokai just waiting in the bush, waiting for an opening. And Cocoa Butter's going to get out here, but up in lane, we see Isle of Ashley taking a lot of damage. Jazzville doing so good at landing these shots. Black Lotus pops it. Isle of Ashley will jump away just enough to survive. And Misfits coming out of the gate swinging as the jungle intensifies here.
Exactly, and we're just look at that basic attack damage with the Vanguard is just going to cause I Love Ashley to pop that Healing Flask with the Drifting Dark now helping Jazzville just to kind of punch down this turret and just do these basic attacks, hiding I Love Ashley really nicely. Jazzville, I'm so impressed by your Samuel right now, even in the early stages of this game. 3 kills onto the side of Misfits, 2 onto the side of Vainglory Statistics. Vainglory Statistics, they are a semi-pro team. They do not have the experience as Misfits do, but they are really holding their own nicely, and I'd like to see what they can do in this late game when they have Echo.
Jazzville.
I know, Black Lotus so close to going down, but does hide behind the turret.
Oh, and Ashley is so low too. Cocoa Butter getting those weakness stacks brought onto him, and all 3 members are clinging onto life, but Grace will fall here. Cocoa Butter gonna get spotted out in this bush, and this turret might fall right here for Vainglory Statistics. There goes that from hills, and it's gonna take him out. Maokai's still standing behind this turret, and it's gonna fall at the 5-minute mark to the side of Misfits.
Yeah, it's just Misfits showing their experience in the 3v3 Vainglory gameplay right now. The rotations have been really clean coming out from Cruel. Cocoa Butter done really well to be a distraction, but just the rotations need to be a little bit quicker, come to help protect the Rona a little bit nicer in the lane, cause hassle. Now, one thing though, Cocoa Butter does have the Aftershock, so that first proc damage that's going to come out will be a lot of hassle onto Ali Peterson, so do expect him to engage hard onto the Samuel, try and shut him down, because the Cruel, you're not really going to be able to shut down the Cruel, you know, especially Mokai has the breaking point first item. Not too common right now in the meta, but we do see this rotation come out.
Yeah, the perfect rotation by Vainglory Statistics. Ashley just spin to win, chunking down Ali Peterson to about a quarter health, and we see here comes Maokai. The fountain's gonna get popped, Oblivion gonna stun up Black Lotus. It's nap time for Grace, already popping the fountain to keep him alive. Jazzville taking a lot of damage, but the 300 Malice and Verdict gonna take him down. Here comes the boomerang, but it's not gonna land on the Ashley. It's within an inch of hitting him straight in the face. And Black Lotus is gonna get away from with his life, but Jazzville's gonna pick up that healing tree, and Misfits is gonna start up this gold miner.
One thing just to point out is Ali Peterson has a protector contract. That's a really good item for Misfits against attacker, because that protector contract, it gives a slight amount of fortified health as a gold mine looks to be secured by Misfits. No, they do leave it, which I do find interesting, because it's to the point where it could easily be taken by Vainglory Statistics. It's going to be kind of a little kind of scrap for this gold mine as it is at the full gold amount, so it could go over to Misfits.
But here comes Vainglory Statistics. They're gonna get the stun onto Maokai, but Samuel just kiting so well. There's so much weakness stacks are stacking onto Black Lotus, and there goes the X-Retsu, but they're totally ignoring him. Full weakness stacks now, and there's the Spectral Smite gonna take him out. Cocoa Butter gonna back away here. Not a whole lot you can do against this double team, especially with the pure amount of sustain. And Maokai, no fear, just fight. It's gonna jump straight onto this.
Yeah, take an objective burger. You get a kill, you get a kind of slight team fight win. You're not going to be able take the turret quite yet, at least. Take down the Crystal Sentry. Their gold lead is now at over 3k, about 3.5k gold lead. They're slowly but surely kind of starting to really edge out in these team fights. There's not much Vainglory Insane can do, at least until Black Lotus gets gets a Crucible and gets a Echo into Double Divine Intervention. So they really need to hold out for late game.
Oh, and there goes the gauntlet, such well timed, waiting until Cocoa Butter had used his kit. And it's the Holy Nova's gonna get blocked, and here comes Maokai with a huge the stun. Fountain's gonna get popped. Ashley spinning to winning. Cocoa Butter gonna take so much damage from these Malice and Verdicts, and Ashley's gonna jump out, stunning up Maokai. The combo is there. The Wombo combo, 1-2 punch, the smite and the stun here. As there it goes, the huge sleep, and Ashley's gonna dive away. Cocoa Butter gonna do the best he can, but it's really not a whole lot. As Jazzville, he gets it with just the tip of the spike right there. Gonna take down Isle of Ashley. Not looking good, as they're already cracking this base turret at 9 minutes.
That's what you call a snowball, Burger. Just really ramping up this damage. You have Dragon's Eye on Jazzville, easily able to build up the breaking point stacks. That's one thing Cocoa Butter, even though he has the aftershock and is able to do that burst damage, I actually feel he should have gone for Dragon's Eye first item into the Clockwork, because Clockwork would have given a lot better cooldown on the likes of his X-Ratsu, the Chitin and the Kaku, which would have given him a slightly better chance to, you know, make a slippery exit in the team fight. Plus, even if he hadn't gotten an exit, you have the Dragon's Eye being able to build up stacks a little bit better, and possibly would have then done more damage in a slightly more elongated team fight. So, you know, Aftershock, not a bad item on Taka, but against his strong Misfits structured gameplay, really possibly could have been better off building the Dragon's Eye as...
Oh, and there comes a huge help from Hell's Heart. I love Ashley. Spin to win. Fortified health not going to be enough. Found pop to keep him alive. Black Lotus is just going to take so much damage from these Malice and Verdicts. Jazzville is doing such a good job of aiming his skill shots, and that's going to be a double kill for Cruel already. Got 4 kills to his name. Jazzville sporting 8. And but we did see last game, the game isn't over until it's over. We saw Suki get those huge Kraken steals, and even though they're down a lot, Vainglory Insane can still come back in this game.
Of course, Vainglory Insane have the mechanics, and they have the fight, the spirit, the belief in their team that they can easily come back from a game. Black Lotus is one of the strongest captains I've seen in the NAC, and I believe he's one of the core integral parts of keeping this team kind of alive in a game, just kind of trying to band the rest of the team together, and he needs to try and do that. I love Ashley. Cocoa Butter, stay together with the Grace. Grace, stay together with the rest of your team. Don't face check a bush when you're against the crew, because look at that. Just being able to build up those...
Oh, he's already dead. Look at
that. The Divine Intervention did nothing to the Grace, and Black Lotus, that was just a slight amateur mistake. I can't help but say it. I don't want to say it, but it's true. And don't go in on a 3v2. You're just not going to be able to win it right now. You are low in health. The Samuel is coming up to help him, and the goal that comes out is blocked. I'm going to pass it over to you, Burger.
Yeah, we got Maokai doing so much damage. He's going to block the stun, and here comes Oblivion. It's going to sleep up Ashley. It's not going to be enough to kill him, unfortunately, but it will be enough to kill Black Lotus as he falls. Not able to be healed up by the base. Isle of Ashley still sustaining, but that stun is going to be too strong, as Jazzville will pick up that kill. Or excuse me, oh yeah, he will. As Cocoa Butter jumps on, doing that combo damage, but the Malice and Verdict placement has just been on point from Jazzville. He might fall here, but the shields are going to keep him alive. This fight is sustaining so long, and it's time for Misfits to back out.
It is. They got a turret. They didn't quite, let's say, get an ace or secure this game in a 12.5, 13-minute match.
Oh, but there it goes.
Cocoa Butter, that's nice kind of, you know, pressure just to re-engage. And now this is a potential chance for Vainglory Satan to get back into this? No.
Oh, Cocoa Butter doing Cocoa Butter things, but it's just not going to be enough, I don't think. Divine Intervention healing him up. He's going to pick up the Treant. Maokai is just waiting in the bush, and here comes Ashley. This might be a turning point for Vaguely Insane. He went and shopped, I think, but Ali Peterson doing such a good job of distracting so that Maokai could get away. And Divine Intervention going to heal up Cocoa Butter, but he's so low, and there's the one kill. Gauntlet's going to trap Ashley inside, and he's gonna do some damage onto Ali. Fountain to keep him alive. Cocoa Butter out of energy, but still here to fight. Jazzville, the only one remaining for Misfits, and that Crystal Sentry will go the way of Vaguely Insane.
Yes, will, but it's not stopping Jazzville from just engaging, just trying to get those Malice Inverters out with the Drift and Dark, just trying to keep the pressure on to Vaguely Insane. And now we're seeing Jazzville just being the hassling Samuel that we both know. Cocoa Butter is low on mana, is going to be able to get onto...
Oh, but he's still doing a lot of damage. The Reflex Block going to keep him alive, but it's not going to... him out.
Because he doesn't have the mana, he just doesn't quite have it as...
Oh, but there's Ashley doing a lot of work. Oh, that's a double block. The Oblivion and the From Hell's Heart. That was such a good timing of the ability, but it's not going to be enough. In the end, Ashley will fall.
And an ace will go over to Misfits. So look, Vaguely saying they got the turret, all well and good, but they now got ace. Guys, just bring it back a bit, reel it back. We know you guys can get back into, just be a little bit more structured. Misfits are being a bit more structured. You know, Jazzville, Maokai, Ali Peterson, they're working so well together as a team, getting and focusing on the right here at the right time. Cocoa Butter and I Love Ashley, they need to shut down Samuel, because we saw when the Samuel was down for the count, Cruel is exposed very heavily. Nice flare coming out from Black Lotus.
You're going to get spotted out, but that flare only serves as a go button for Misfits. They're going to take out Grace. Cocoa Butter already falling low. He's going to dip out, and Ashley, is going to take the stun, going to block up the Oblivion, and he's going to get back into base. But a 3v1 as a Taka, not something you really want to do. And there's only one turret remaining. This one, Maokai is just going to start up. Jazzville going very low, taking a couple turret shots, but these Malice and Verdicts are going to do a lot of work. Blocks up the X-Retsu, going to sustain away, and he's surviving for so long, but that will be the final nail in the coffin. But Maokai is just hammering on this Vein Crystal, and boom, that is game 1 to Misfits. What a dominant performance.
It was definitely a dominant performance coming out from them. Vaguely say need to read it back for the second game. They need to remember what they have been told, what they have learned from the pancake match last night. They need to just go, look, Misfits are such a structured team. They play on essentially, they don't necessarily play on a higher level as individuals, Burger. They just play on a higher level as a team. They play against higher level teams as a team. So Misfits just are showing their experience in this first game. Vaguely saying they need to kind of go, okay, look, what can we do to kind of get back into this? Okay, we have this really aggressive play style. So let's kind of play an aggressive play style, but just keep it far more structured and look to shut down one person on the side of Misfits at the time and then get back into this game. Hopefully they do have it on their side. They have the motivation, they have the drive, they have the support. I just really want to see them just make a stronger showing in this game too, Burger.
Yeah, like what we saw last night with the pancake match. Get Coco on Blackfeather. We saw him pop off on Blackfeather so hard last night. And especially since you're down, you want to get onto the comfort picks. And comfort picks can sometimes win you games over meta. And if you are the side of Vaguely Insane right now, you really want to play to your win condition. And I really feel like as we get the second draft almost underway, your win condition is Cocoa Butter. He's honestly one of he's the best player on their roster right now. And if you can let him do great things, I think they can take the second game.
But one hero, one person as we are into the draft of this second game that we have not mentioned is Black Lotus on this Churnwalker. In the Pancake game, Black Lotus came into the roster for the second game, was swapped out for Jazziel, or swapped in for Jazziel, should I say. Pick the Churnwalker, and I mentioned it in that match. I'm going to mention it now. Black Lotus is one of the strongest Churnwalkers I've seen in the NACL. You know, it's something that I think will play to Vaguely Insane's advantage if they do pick up. They do have first ban, which will go towards them. Maybe they will look to ban out the Cruel. I feel like that would be the safest option for them right now. Take away the Cruel, it caused them so much hassle in the first game. As we do see that the first ban has come out of Vox. Vox is strong, taken away from Vaguely Insane. Maybe they are looking to just ban out Vox and then pick up Cruel as a first pick. That wouldn't be a bad idea from them. However, I think Misfits could easily ban away the Cruel because Cruel is just very strong right now. If you have the right heroes on your team with a comp, it's going to play a big part in this game. So it's going to be just interesting to see what's going to happen. Burger, what do you make of this draft so far?
They did ban out the Ringo, which I think is also smart for Misfits because Ringo is super strong right now, especially with his Spell Sword triple Tyrants build that he can do so well. And Vaguely Insane is just going to go ahead and pick up Black Lotus Arden, a super meta comp, a very safe comp. And as we're looking into this second pick here, I almost want Misfits to reveal themselves as they do pick up a Rona. That's gonna clap Ashley on his own hero. And
I'm expecting it to be Maokai in this jungle Rona because I feel like he was so aggressive on the Cruel that Rona, if they ban away the Cruel, I feel that's what Misfits will do. They'll ban away the Cruel because they've already banned away the Ringo. So take away the Cruel. You give yourself a slight advantage in the draft. And actually, what I think would go really well with the Rona as a second pick. No, they do ban away Samuel. Interesting. I think what would be a really wise choice for Vaguely Insane is to take away Grace. Do not give Misfits Grace and Rona. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, Grace and Rona is a super strong dive comp, and especially if you can snowball with a dive comp, it becomes extreme the later you get into this game. And so if you're Vaguely Insane, I'm thinking we're gonna ban away something like a Grace, maybe pick up a Black Feather for Cocoa Butter, and then maybe for their last pick, I'd like to see them pick, maybe like a Celeste or a sort of mage type hero that can play really well into this Rona. And if you have Arden on the front line and Blackfeather also doing his best to distract Rona, and as they're gonna ban Taka away here, Imperium.
That's interesting. I don't really agree with that because Taka is something, unless they have a strategy up their sleeve, maybe they're looking to pick this less, so taking away the Taka does give them let's say a slightly easier time, because even though they don't ban Grace, so they do give a chance of picking up Rona and Grace, but I do feel that Taka on a very structured Misfits team would cause a lot more hassle to, let's say, the Celeste or another kind of hero like Sky than Grace would. So they pick up Grace, and I do think it's going to be definitely a Sky pickup coming out from Vaguely Insane, just to try and counter both the Rona and the Grace. And if you're going for a last pick, you definitely want the frontliner, like let's say maybe as a weapon power, maybe a Glaive, and just to try and maybe reposition the Rona. Even though Glaive isn't quite in the meta, or you could even look at something like
Jewel, maybe even
a weapon power Jewel. They've gone for Sky, so Sky's obviously going to be jungle jungle CP. That would just make the most sense for me right now. And if you're going for a weapon power lane, maybe Baron. Okay? The reason why I say Baron is because Baron in the late game will do so much burst damage. And as Taka is off the table, it does mean that it would give them a lot more freedom.
Right. And especially, the more I think about it, Baron seems like a much better option because if you get Dove, you can just jump jets out and then you spit those 600 damage critical strike rockets back, and then that's going to drive them back. And then Sky can just dance around them really well. But if I feel like that does open up the Batiste for Misfits, and they're going to go with a Cruel here. So CP lane Sky.
Yeah, CP lane Sky with the Cruel. Cruel is going to be a strong frontline hero that's going to look to get onto the Rona. However, when you have Grace, and as I said, the structure coming out from Misfits, those Holy Novas are really going to be very important for Misfits just to try and shut down this Cruel. When you're coming out as the last pick, possibly Batiste. You could see Batiste in jungle just to try and help with the CC against both the Sky and the Cruel. I do feel like that would actually be a strong choice. Dragon's Eye is so strong right now. When you pick it up on Batiste as the first item, followed by Clockwork, the AoE damage and the stacks that you're able to build up does a lot of damage to the enemy team.
Mm-hmm. And my heart wants to say Alpha right now, but they're going to go with Celeste instead.
Yeah, I think they've gone for the Celeste just to create that extra, that extra sense of zoning and positioning, plus the CC that's going to come from core claps. That's really going to cause a lot of hassle for Cruel. So again, not to kind of repeat myself or reiterate too much, Burger, but it's going to come down to structured plays coming out from Vaguely Insane. If they can stick together, the Cruel is going to do a lot of work in the jungle, being on the front line, even if he does get shut down quite easily. If you have the Sky that's going to be able to reposition Sorry Strike away from the Rona into the Celeste, shut down the Celeste, because the Celeste has to be the core focus for Vaguely Insane, then you give yourself the best chance of winning a team fight, because Sky is nearly always going to be able to kind of kite away and shut down the Rona.
Yeah, it'll be one heck of a game. That's as we load onto the full game 2. This could be Vaguely Insane's last game here on the Halcyon Fold for the North American Champions League, and Misfits looking to put the final nail in the coffin here as they storm out onto this fold.
Yeah, storm indeed, but no, the storm is definitely not over, or it's only just beginning for Vaguely Insane. I believe they have the thunder, they have the lightning, they have the rain, snow, sleet on their side to just rain down on the Misfits. They are a strong team, they're full of passion. That passion can take you so many places when you're a slightly inexperienced team. Let's not forget that Misfits, they might not know much about Vaguely Insane, but Vaguely Insane might know a little bit more about Misfits, that in the second game, with a slightly better comp coming out from Vaguely Insane and the slightly better structuring, if they do pull it out, will catch Misfits off guard.
Yep, we're looking at a very good rotation up here from Ash. Ali Peterson gonna have to be careful here with both carries up, but here comes Celeste and Rona to contest this lane a bit. And Cruel isn't really anywhere to be found, but here he comes. The Solar Storm, or not the Solar Storm, Core Collapse, excuse me, gonna be dodged away by Ashley, but here comes the dive on a Jazzville. The Cocoa Butter going so low, forced to pop his flask to stay alive, and that was a clean disengage by Misfits.
It was a clean disengage by Misfits, but what was really interesting was that Cruel used his smite very early in that engagement, as if he didn't feel confident on building up the Dead Man's Rush and those basic attack stacks before unleashing the smite. So that's something that you gotta be careful at. As the core collapse does catch out, I love Ashley. It's just gonna have.
And there goes Black Lotus in the jungle. He will fall as well. Maokai doing huge damage already on Rona. He picked up the mid tree to contest and already fell.
Wow, this is Misfits just kind of really, maintaining their stronghold in this match. If we want to focus a little bit on lane, as you do see, I Love Ashley doing his best to get on to Jazville. Jazville is just going to have to...
Just a couple more hits, and that's going to be it. But Ashley will fall himself. The 1-for-1 trade, was it worth?
It wasn't worth it at all, Burger. Okay. In the core game, it wasn't worth it. From a mental... I am a strong Sky, and you need to fear and respect my Sky. Yes, it actually was, because it does give Vainglory Statistics confidence. It does give I Love Ashley, confidence that he can get the better of this Celeste. So, in the overall game, not a benefit, but I think from a mental point of view, definitely a bit of a benefit. But we are going to see Jazville now put a lot more pressure onto I Love Ashley. Yeah,
and speaking of pressure, we've got some jungle going too. Maokai got full stacks, the 300 damage smite, gonna make sure he's backing off. Cocoa Butter doing a really good job there, but I Love Ashley is so low, and especially with this siege hero that Jazville plays so well, we're seeing a kill actually onto Maokai. There's two different lanes, excuse my pun, of damage coming out, as Black Lotus taking a lot of damage from these stars. Jazville doing his best to stay behind his tank, taking away that forward barrage, but it's a sticky situation as we see the jungle intensify. The aggression coming out of Vaguely Insane, that's kind of their signature play style, as Jazville almost falls, that it's rewarding them this time instead of hurting.
Yeah, definitely. Vaguely Insane are playing a slightly better game. Look at Cocoa Butter looking to expose Jazville, and does use the smite to secure that kill, and also then just kind of maintain that control a little bit, really showing Misfits that they are in this game and they're in it to win it. Cocoa Butter playing definitely a stronger game, a more confident game. I Love Ashley on this Sky has got Dragon's Eye now, first item. So does Jazville, but one thing to point out is I Love Ashley has that weapon blade, so potentially can be a bit more of a nuisance on the fold and in this lane situation, but the turret is nearly down on the side of Vaguely Insane, so they do have to be careful if the Rona does come up. But talking about the Rona does into the fray out of the way of Cruel. So Misfits starting to respect the damage coming out from Cocoa Butter.
Yep, we're gonna see Vaguely Insane pushing up this lane, as Jazville and Allie Peterson are just gonna be here to defend the turret, but it's gonna be Cocoa Butter coming up out of nowhere. He's gonna get double stunned and taking a lot of damage. He's taking a lot of damage, actually. Jazville almost bursting him down already, as Maokai is coming up to contest, but that Solar Storm's gonna be blocked out by Black Lotus. Not gonna kill his dead friend, but that camp will go to Ashley. So good deny of the push out of Vaguely Insane.
Yeah, but now the turret is about to go down and get taken down. Ali Peterson does secure I Love Ashley with great story strike away to secure the kill onto the Celeste. But what are these kills doing to the team, to the fight, to the match overall for Vaguely Insane? They have not turned kills into any kind of objective focus or objective push. Yes, it's helping them kind of, maintain their confidence, Burger, but they have not turned it into any kind of advantage. But we do see the death from above going on to Ali Peterson. I will hand over to you as an engagement does go on to Cocoa Butter.
Yeah, Cocoa Butter taking a lot of damage. The smite is going to hit him. Maokai going to get healed right up with that story strike, chunking him right back down, as Cocoa Butter weaving his way through this minefield of stars, but Black Lotus takes so much damage. Cocoa Butter going to be Force Fountain on him. Maokai just a whirling dervish of damage as Ali Peterson's going to miss that Holy Nova. But it's so close. Maokai's going to fall here. I Love Ashley doing the best he can. Surrey Strike reposition. That's a triple kill for Vaguely Insane. That's an ace. And they need to take a gold mine and a turret here to stay alive.
That's what I'm talking about. Remember what I said during draft? That's what I Love Ashley needed to do. Use the strength that Sky has. The Surrey Strike was perfection personified coming out from I Love Ashley. Really helped secure the kill on Tess. And I also want to talk about Cocoa Butter on the crew. Played a really good distractional team fight, but we do see Milwaukee. I'm not going to have much time to talk. Who's it going to go down to?
Oh, speaking of distractions, barely, but Maokai gonna take the kill onto him as well, as we see Ashley rotating back as the Maokai's gonna start up on this Crystal Sentry. Ali Peterson helping him out, and that's gonna be a bit more map control going over to Misfits, but the Surrey Strike, as we know Ashley can land, is gonna come back. Maokai and Ali Peterson just gonna back away here.
Yeah, exactly. That was a nice gold mine take by Cocoa Butter. Even though it went down, that was very beneficial because Misfits did not take anything objectively really off the side of Crystal Sentry, but in the grand scheme of things, I actually don't think that really affects Vaguely Insane. But we saw the ace that came out for them. The gold difference, should I say, is minimal. It's less than a K on the side of Misfits. Vaguely Insane, they are bringing this game back. They are pushing Misfits hard. I think Misfits are starting to respect the damage coming out from both Cocoa Butter and I Love Ashley a little bit more. And maybe if Vaguely Insane can keep this structure up as Cocoa Butter doesn't secure it.
Nope, he's gonna go extremely low. Maokai doing his best, but those weakness stacks are starting to build. Here comes a shield. He's gonna dodge out of the Holy Nova. Doing a lot of damage. Here goes Gauntlet. Is going to double stun them inside the Death Room above as well. Rona's going to fall. The huge sword is going to hit Jazzville. And there's not a whole lot he can do. He spits out the Solar Storm, but there's going to be a stun landing on a Vaguely Insane. The Fountain's keep him alive. Jazzville going down. Ali Peterson the only one left. And this is going to look like another ace on the side of Vaguely Insane.
Now look at this. Look at Cocoa Butter jumping straight onto the Crystal Sentry. No, go to jungle. No, don't go to jungle. Go for the Crystal Sentry. Yes, okay, Mocha is up, but I really feel with the Arden. Oh, Cocoa Butter doesn't quite get it, and now that does leave him a little bit exposed, but I Love Ashley is supporting.
Oh, look at that damage. Maokai dead already. That Crystal Sentry is gonna go dangerously low. Maokai getting a ton of healing, though. Black Lotus gonna fall to that spinning sword, and the Surrey Strike gonna do a lot of damage, but a ton of Solar Sword, Heliogenesis damage, excuse me, and that's gonna be a counter ace, possibly, right down on top of Vaguely Insane. But no, I Love Ashley, the forward barrage, gonna take out Peterson. What a good turnaround from that, as Maokai can't contest this gold mine any longer, but Ashley, one good Surrey Strike maybe could take out either of these two carries, but the block came out just in time.
It was the gold mine. The gold mine saved Ashley so much, took out a chunk of that Solar Storm, and now that does mean with the gold mine, the extra range that the gold mine has, I want to point out also, does mean that it's more of a menace if you try to take the gold mine and start up. It's going to hang around and try and take out any of your teams a little bit more, and that went into the favor of Vaguely Insane. They get the gold mine. The difference is still only a K. Oh my god, Vaguely Insane, you are just doing so much. I Love Ashley is playing the best game of his life on this Sky, using the Surrey Strike so nicely. Did that's from above into the gauntlet. I also want to point out was so beautifully timed. If they can do that again, help isolate and shut down Misfits, they have a very big possibility of winning another team fight and then taking even more objectives, Burger, and then hopefully closing out and taking us into a third game series.
Yeah, that's exactly how Vaguely Insane likes to play. They like to get the initial picks. They like going maybe into a 2v1, taking out the isolated player. But as we see Misfits, they're not usually caught out by themselves. They're always rotating as a team. So if you are Vaguely Insane, as we see Ashley getting jumped on, dropping the death from above, Black Lotus taking damage, but he's going to drop the hammer. Jazzville going to take that healing, and the gauntlet is going to get erased. But Maokai, he's still surviving. Cocoa Butter will fall as well. I Love Ashley, the only remaining member from Misfits. And Ali Peterson going to take that Holy Nova, but he's going to miss it. Ashley picks up that healing camp, and that was another decisive win, I think, if you're Misfits.
I wouldn't say decisive win. It was just simply a win. But look at Corona.
Oh, gee, got a little bit too greedy, and that's going to be a down. But Ashley, clinging to life, barely hits that Helio. He's going to get found to keep himself alive, and Misfits is going to back off without their jungler here. Cocoa Butter is going to rush up. It's blocked and Atlas and stunned. That was a perfectly executed combo out of Misfits to keep the engagement away.
Yeah, it does, but now look at this now. Cocoa Butter and Black Lotus are going into the jungle a little bit. It's not enough, though. You got to try and take the objectives. I like the fact that they use the fountain to re-engage onto Misfits, so it's kind of like it wasn't quite a waste of a fountain. Even though they didn't really gain anything overall, it just wasn't a waste. They were looking for something out of it. So a really good choice coming out from Black Lotus and Vaguely Insane as a team, recognizing that the fact that even though the fountain was maybe didn't need to be popped, it was popped, and then they looked to try and take something out of it. So we are 40 minutes into this game. Kraken is up in less than a minute as Misfits are looking to secure this gold mine.
Yep, Maokai gonna start on this gold mine, and it will fall to the Rona. He will get that last hit, but Cocoa Butter did expend his ult there, which it's not going to be up for another 48 seconds. So if Misfits wants to fight, now would be a great time. Take that ace that they have been seen to pick up before, and as the Kraken spawns up, close this game out.
Yes, of course, but I don't think Vaguely Insane are going to make it that easy for them. However, the lane is pushed to the advantage of Misfits as they are going to look to go into the gauntlet. I'll hand it over to you, Burger.
Here goes the gauntlet, the Divine Intervention going to keep everyone alive. Jazzville taking a lot of damage from Cocoa Butter, and he will get the kill. Cocoa Butter is going to stay alive, but Black Lotus might not. That's a double kill for him. Cocoa Butter is going to chase down that evasive Valkyrie, but as Kraken's up, they're going to look to just snag it right now.
Come on, Vaguely Insane, now is the time, now is the moment, now is your testament to try and get back into this game, to prove that you are a team not to be shunted, to not to be knocked down, that you can go against the best, to go against this Misfits VIS pro level team, and then take it to a 3-game series. The Kraken is secured. Guys in chat, in hype it up for me. Feel this absolute destruction that's coming out onto the fold as Vaguely Insane are just looking to just to maintain control. I want to give so much credit to I Love Ashley. It's playing, like I mentioned, the sky of his lifetime.
Yeah, and we see Cocoa Butter diving onto Maokai, but he's not going to pursue that engage. He's going to get Atlas, Death from Above, going to zone out really well. Maokai going to take some damage from the forward barrage. Here comes Cocoa Butter. He's going to hit Maokai, but the Divine Intervention is going to keep him up. Cocoa Butter in a lot of danger here. Kraken's almost dead, and not even a single turret has fallen. And that's going to be just the go button for Misfits. Going to shield up Cocoa Butter so he doesn't die. Ashley doing a lot of work with the Surrey Strike, but it's not going to be enough. Misfits, that was basically 500 free gold for them out of that Kraken push. But Jazzville taking a lot of damage. Ashley going to get block the stun, actually, and zone them out with the well-placed Death from Above. Cocoa Butter coming in, Fountain going to be popped, but that's going to be Maokai falling, and the huge Solar Storm going to take out Arden, though.
And then with the double kill onto onto the Heliogenesis does mean that I Love Ashley is exposed. One bit I want to give though credit to Vaguely Insane. That was a really fantastic from Hellstar to help secure the kill onto the Rona, but the Helios followed by the Solar Storm really shut down Vaguely Insane. If that hadn't have been secured, if that hadn't have come out onto the side of Misfits, Vaguely Insane would have won that team fight quite easily, because I Love Ashley is just doing such a fantastic job of dodging those Heliogenesis, using the Story Strike and the Death from Above to reposition both himself and the Misfits team really nicely. And just one thing to point out though, Cocoa Butter, I actually feel needs more defense. So if I was him, I would sell the Healing Flask and actually just get another Aegis or even another Fountain. It's unusual, I know, and you're going another Fountain, but when you are against a Grace that is looking to build Echo to have double Divine Intervention, double Fountain, if it's timed right, will do the same thing. Plus, with the Fountain Burger, you give yourself CP defense, which is going to make you able to sustain against Celeste just that a little bit better. So I think that's something that Vaguely Insane should really consider.
Right, and especially if Cocoa Butter is going to want to stick onto the Celeste, and he can tank a Solar Storm straight to the face, that extra Fountain or an extra Aegis block can really make him so that he can survive better in these team fights.
Yeah, and then it just gives more freedom to I Love Ashley. Even though a one-hander gun, well, that puts a lot of pressure on I Love Ashley to kind of be the main damage dealer. I think that's what I Love Ashley is doing anyway. The only difference is Cocoa Butter is kind of going down or having to disengage a little bit earlier in these team fights, but we are seeing another engagement.
Yep, Cocoa Butter gets Atlas, so he's going to have to back away. But I Love Ashley going to just zone out with this really nicely placed forward barrage. Kraken is up, and they're going to look to start it. Vaguely Insane with a vaguely insane play with the Kraken in full view of Misfits. They're going to try to contest this.
It's risky against the Celeste and the Solar Storm and the Core.
Here comes a gauntlet. Oh, so much amount of CC is coming out. Jazzville going very low. Cocoa Butter going to take him out, and Maokai, the last remaining damage threat, but he's got full stacks on him. He's going to jump over the wall, but Ashley going to get him with a well-placed Death from Above. Black Lotus is going to be stunned up. Atlas comes down, but that's going to be a kill onto Allie Peterson. Yes. And now's the go button for Vaguely Insane to take this Kraken.
That bait that came out from Vaguely Insane was just the stuff of beauty. Misfits fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. They were home drawn and quartered on that Kraken because they let Vaguely Insane start it. Vaguely Insane went, yeah, look, we're taking the Kraken. Come to us. But then they absolutely exposed Misfits with the gauntlet into the front of Hellstar. And the focus I want to point out that came out from both Cocoa Butter and I Love Ashley to shut down the Celeste was magnificent. And I am so impressed by these Vaguely Insane team. I feel they have definitely improved by not only the first game against Misfits, but also what we saw against Pancake Sunrise. They're definitely playing a tighter game as a team, a bit more structured, a bit more focused, and I really feel that does come down to Black Lotus on this captain hero on the Arden. Is just playing a really strong part in this team as a Kraken is now bearing down onto the Misfits turret.
And there's the first turret falling, and I Love Ashley doing a lot of damage with this forward rush. It's going to be a double core collapse though, and as they're bearing down, Cocoa Butter's going to get Atlas yet again. Black Lotus gets stunned. He's going to have to back away as the Kraken continues to hammer down on this turret. Maokai doing a lot of damage, and as one turret, and the Solar Storm will.
It was a 1.5 turret push. It was the best turret push that they've had out of the two Krakens they've secured, and not only that, but it actually puts them ahead in the map-wide view. It also puts them ahead for the first time in this match in gold. And my God, are Vaguely Insane giving us a show, are showing their fans that they are not out of it, that they are giving them a reason to cheer. They're giving us a reason to cheer. They are giving this game the match of their lives. I kind of don't even know what else to say. I just want to see more engagements coming out from both teams. I want to just see absolute action, death, destruction, and I just want to see either team come out on top and show us what can be done.
Yeah, Isle of Ashley is doing a really good job on this guy, avoiding all of the solar storms and the Helios, and Ali Peterson already on a half. There goes the gauntlet getting dropped. Gonna block out the stun, but the healing's gonna come out on a Maokai, but Ali Peterson looks like she needed it, but he's gonna be stunned out of the gauntlet. What a good core collapse there, as Jazzville taking a lot of damage, but they're gonna get zoned out. There goes the From Hell's Heart on the Maokai. Cocoa Butter gonna do a lot of sustain as he does. Jazzville and Ali Peterson are very low, and there's a huge Surrey Strike, but it's not gonna get any kills. Jazzville now will fall. He will get the Solar Storm off, but it's not going to matter as Cocoa Butter gets a double kill. Maokai, the only remaining member, and this one could go to a game 3, but they're going to back off here, not willing to risk it without their captain.
Well, they should also go for the Crystal Sentry. Come on, guys. Take out the Crystal Sentry. Yes, Cocoa Butter. No. Get the Crystal Sentry, guys. Yeah, you're going to easily be able to take out Maokai on the Rona. The Kraken isn't up for the third time in this match. We are 23 minutes into this game. It's 5:10 in the morning here in Ireland, but I don't give a damn because I'm so hyped to be casting this match with you and seeing the action that we are seeing on the Foldburger.
Oh man, game 3 with these teams would be so good, and especially since we've seen such a strong performance from Vaguely Insane in the second game. I really think that they can bring it home all the way to a third game. And as we see, fresh infusions on all 4 carries here. Ali Peterson's picked up a Null Wave, so hoping to block out Black Lotus so he can't use the double gauntlets anymore would be a huge advantage. But Ashley's by himself, but not anymore. Here comes Butter. Black Lotus gonna make sure he can get out okay, and it's just looking like a bit of poke war right now. But here comes Misfits. Oh, taking a little bit of chip damage on the Black Lotus. Here comes Cocoa Butter with a boomerang sword, and it's gonna hit Jazzle straight in the face. He's gonna drop a bunch of stuns. The Solar Storm gonna go heal up. Cocoa Butter doing a lot of sustain. He's going so low, but he will fall. Rona gonna chop him to pieces. Ashley doing the best that he can. Black Lotus gonna drop that second gauntlet, making sure and there's the huge damage taking out Grace, and that's gonna be a double kill for Isle of Ashley, and Misfits Jazzville the only one standing in the way. But there goes the Solar Storm, taking him straight in the face, knocking him straight out of that mech, and that's an ace for Misfits Jazzville. He's gonna look to just push this turret.
Yeah, but the lane is pushed onto the side of
Solo Celeste Kraken take.
It's well possible. Just one thing to point out about that team fight engagement, it was really fantastic by both teams as this Kraken is being captured so successfully by Jazzville Burger. Just I want to point out Jazzville did so fantastically to hide behind the Crystal Sentry. And remember when Vaguely Insane won the last team fight, and I said they
do it. You absolute madman. He's gonna take this Solo Celeste Kraken.
Yeah, remember the last team fight that Vaguely Insane won, and I said they should take down the Crystal Sentry? Mm-hmm. That is why they should have taken down the Crystal Sentry. The Crystal Sentry is the reason, outside of Jazzville's amazing position, is the reason why Misfits won that team fight. If Vaguely Insane had taken the initiative, taken the structured approach and the objective-focused approach to take down that Crystal Sentry, they would have won that team fight. So Vaguely Insane, it's far from over for them, as they're going to look to burst down this Kraken as quickly as possible. But Jazzville is fantastic on this list to try and burst down these turrets and zone out. Vaguely Insane, it's going to be exciting stuff that we are going to have on this Kraken push.
Yeah, the turret's already taking tons of damage. Kraken's at about a 2/3 health, as Death from Above is gonna rain down on this monster, and the base is now cracked open. Maokai looking for a cheeky backdoor, and there it is. The shield for the turret is gonna fall, taking a lot of damage. There's the gauntlet. He's gonna get Alice, heals up Jazzville. Such good positioning. The Kraken's still not dead, and that's a second turret down. It's Jazzville's dead, but Maokai is still here. He's chopping down the turret. Allie Peterson is the only one left. He's gonna get a double stun actually, but Allie, no, just hit the crystal. You're so close.
This could be it. This is a push. Look at this. The booster coming out now. This is up to Vainglory saying they've got huge death timers. 27 minutes into this game. It's over 30 seconds for both the Rona and the Celeste. And this is now Vainglory Insane's time to shine. They've got to push down onto the base of Misfits. Let's see if they can take down both Vayne crystal turrets and the Vayne within under 15 seconds. I think it's possible because you have Cruel that's going to be able to chunk down this turret so much and take the defense. Look at that. They've got the minion wave. They're taking one turret at a time. Burger, is this going to come down to a 3-game series?
They've done it. David is taking down Goliath in this huge series. Done yet. I Love Ashley taking a lot of damage. Item silence coming out to Black Lotus, and he does die, but that's it. The Fin Crystal falls. Cocoa Butter has done it. The Vaguely Insane has taken a game off of Misfits.
This is a 3-game series, and oh my god, but I threw my pen on the ground. I'm hype. I'm so damn proud of Vaguely Insane. They did not hold back. They did not let this team go. They did not let Misfits get the better of them. They drafted so beautifully with that Sky pick on I Love Ashley. The exact same build as Jazzville at 1.8. They had the exact same items. Dragon's Eye, Eve of Harvest, Broken Myth, Clockwork. But I Love Ashley, the repositioning on coming out from him with the Sorry Strikes, Death from Above, and the 4 barrages were vital in Vaguely Insane winning this game. Man, they just proved so much to every single one of any single person that in any way doubted how much heart and soul can take you forward against a team with a lot more experience. Burger, Vaguely Insane have shown what you can do with that heart, with that soul, with that passion, as they are taking this series to a 3rd game between these two teams. I'm so hyped. Like, I can't believe how late it is at night, but I don't care because I want to see this draft getting started as quickly as possible. Talking about real quick before we go into this game, I want to talk a little bit real quickly about the draft that we're going to see in this 3rd game. I'm expecting quite structured bans coming out and targeted bans coming out from Misfits, because I feel that Misfits are going to start respecting the power and the ability coming out from Vaguely Insane.
Absolutely. Vaguely Insane has shown that they came here to play, and not just come here to play. They came here to win. So, again, this is the 2nd series of the day that's going to come down to Game 3, Misfits versus Vaguely Insane. And we saw the first series of the day go literally to the last couple seconds. It was so close, Imperium. And as we see this 3rd draft get underway, this is going to be a nail-biter ride from start to finish.
I don't think there's really much I can really, at least right now, talk about in terms of draft, because we're seeing both teams are just showing so much. Let's not forget that this is for a spot in the quarterfinals of the NAC, and I also want to point out, if anybody does not know, that this is Vaguely Insane's very first competitive tournament. And I know from managing a team, to put your team in a competitive tournament for the first time, you can practice as much as you want, but nothing prepares you for the mental and I suppose even the physical pressure of going into a tournament, for the first time, playing as many matches as you do. Yes, that does help. But when it comes down to elimination bracket situation, where it's literally whoever wins the series goes through to the next round, it's literally winner take all, so to speak. You cannot prepare your team for that. So for Vaguely Insane to come back into the second game and take it to Misfits, that just shows how much mental strength and how much overall preparation they have done for the series. We are into the draft. Misfits have taken off Ringo. I'm kind of surprised they haven't taken off Sky or Cruel. However, maybe they are looking into specific comp for the third game. They are more of an experience overall than Vaguely Insane, but Vaguely Insane, they have the heart, they have the soul, they have the passion, they have absolute dominance from the second game that they are going to be able to carry forward into the third game. Burger, I am so damn excited.
Oh, so am I. Oh, hopefully this will be the one game that I get on Drone. But Arden is going to be banned. Vox picked up for Misfits. So just standard pick. Vox is an extremely safe laner. You know, he's got incredible versatility. He's been meta for years, and it's not really giving anything away in their team comp while still getting them a strong hero.
Yeah, that's very true, and I'm kind of surprised Vaguely Insane did let that Vox go. Maybe they do have, again, another comp idea on their mind. They did face against a CP Vox in their last match against Pancake Sunrise, and they played a comp that really did shut that down. However, that was Pancake Sunrise. Nothing against Pancake Sunrise. This is Misfits. This is essentially one of the top teams of the NACL, one of the top teams of the VIS, and got very close to VG8 in previous seasons of Vainglory. So this is a team that have a lot of structure, a lot of experience, and a lot of ability on their team. So if you are Vaguely Insane, you want to make sure that you pick a comp that is going to really shut them down. They've gone for the Grace first pick. I do feel like they're going to possibly look to ban out Cruel, because if you ban out Cruel and let's say Misfits don't ban out Rona, then you do have the chance of picking out Rona. However, one thing to point out is even though we are nearly always seeing CP Vox, as they do go for a Cruel ban, quite obvious, I was thinking they could ban out a Sky, because you could have CP Sky and Weapon Power Vox against a Grace and a Rona. I don't think that would be a bad idea. If they ban Taka, I think that's possibly what Misfits will do, but time will tell, Burger.
Yep, dipping deep into their bonus time here with this second ban here. And you know, you touched on some good things. I'd like to see the bans that you mentioned, but also, you know, maybe target a specific role. We've seen that, you know, Vox and Ringo are both off the board, as well as Cruel. So if you want to, you know, maybe make I Love Ashley uncomfortable because we saw him do so much work in the last game, maybe you ban away Sky, take away those comfort picks that he likes so much, and it's going to be Rona.
Yeah, that's a good choice, taking away the Rona, because Rona and Grace are a strong comp. One thing is that, okay, it's risky, but you could go for an Alpha. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think possibly a Baron or even maybe a Kestrel are going to come out from Vaguely Insane. Maybe not Kestrel, because the Resident Bounces are going to catch her out from the invisibility. They go for Blackfeather. Cocoa Butter on Blackfeather. We saw it against Pancake Sunrise. We're going to see it against Misfits in this third game series to take the winner. Will go through to quarterfinals. My God, this is exciting stuff, Burger. Last two picks are going to come out from Misfits. What do you think we are going to see?
All right, so what I'd want to see is maybe some sort of maybe this is where you pull out the Alpha, you know? Like a Blackfeather is kind of squishy. He's not really super
tanky.
Yeah, super tanky. And so maybe if you pick a tank, a CP tank, kind of like Rhyme, or maybe even an assassin, maybe like Taka or Reza, that can just delete him before he can really do anything.
One thing to point out, okay, as a last pick for Vaguely Insane, because not even the second pick has come out from Misfits, so I try not to speculate too much. Finn comes out, definitely interesting, but one hero now that I think will be strong for Vaguely Insane as the last pick is Koshka. Koshka has survived the whole draft in this game, and I don't really think it matters what Misfits pick maybe Samuel, though, or maybe something like a Weapon Power Sky or a Glaive that might be able to reposition one of Vaguely Insane. One of those two heroes, as Misfits are just kind of really thinking about it. If they don't pick a kiting hero, I think going for a Koshka on the side of Vaguely Insane would really give them they go for Samuel. So that's definitely a good choice. We are going to see Weapon Power Vox, I believe. In fairness, it's surprising to see this, but a Weapon Power Vox for the first time in a while. I know it's not often you say that, but with the strength of Vox on CP, the Weapon Power has kind of fallen off the meta right now. I still don't think Koshka would be a bad choice, though.
Yeah, this is interesting because we saw how good Jazzville was on Samuel the first game, but now they're flexing him into the jungle, or so it seems. I could be totally wrong, but as if you're Vaguely Insane, I think Koshka is really something you want to go. We also know Cocoa Butter is so good on Blackfeather, and maybe flexing him off of that hero might not be such a good idea. So we'll just have to wait this one out here, Imperial.
You could have an Alpha that we mentioned as a bit of a tanky jungler with the Blackfeather, and then the double Divine Intervention will provide a lot of strength. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of kiting in late game. Let's not forget, Finn does provide a lot of CC with his abilities and with his kit. You also have the ability to be able to use the Force Accord to kind of be able to reposition the enemy team. So that Quibble late game can play a lot of into good stuff, but they've gone for the Sky.
Yup, Ashley's gonna pick up that Sky probably, and Cocoa Butter with that Blackfeather. I think we've explained enough with these comps. I say we just go right into it.
Well, yeah, but I want to point out that I don't think it's going to be CP Sky. I think it's going to be Weapon Power Sky and CP Blackfeather.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because I think with the Quibble late game coming out from Finn, that's going to stun. If you have a CP Blackfeather, it's going to be able to build up those Dragon's Eye stacks with the on point quite nicely and quite easily. And then on the side of Sky, with something like a Spell Sword Breaking Point build, or even something like a Sour Blade Breaking Point build, you're going to be able to provide a lot of Breaking Point stack advantage that's going to be able to go onto the Finn as well. So, overall, I think that's a very good comp from Vaguely Insane. However, we're seeing Finn in the meta a little bit more in the 2.12 patch. Jazzville, if it is Jazzville on the Samuel, it can really be a danger to Vaguely Insane. My heart says Vaguely Insane, my head says Misfits, to be perfectly honest, Burger.
And look at the heroes. Jazzville on Vox, Maokai on Samuel. So now what we saw game 1, and then Ashley on Blackfeather, Cocoa Butter on Sky. So the players aren't playing their best heroes, I feel like. And so this is just going to come down to a pure skill matchup. And in terms of pure skill matchup, I think we've seen Misfits take the win in that category. But, oh man, my heart goes out to Vaguely Insane. Everybody loves an underdog, don't they?
Yeah, indeed. But never mind really what we think for now. Guys in the chat, this is the third game of the series. The winner of this game, of this series, goes on to his quarterfinals. Get it on the chat. Put hashtag Vain, hashtag Misfits for who you want to see win this epic showdown. David versus Goliath match. As you do see Black Lotus looking to try and take the front of Misfits, just trying to show that, no, we won the set last game. It wasn't a fluke. And we're here to take over and take the third game and take the series.
Yep, Misfits is coming down here to contest, but Vane is going to start it up here. We're going to see Jazzville moving in, drifting dark, glitched into the wall, maybe a little bit, on my screen at least. And Black Lotus is going to port back, same with Cocoa Butter. They're going to do a quick buy here before going into this second rotation.
Yeah, so it was good mid-century secure on the side of Vaguely Insane, just kind of keeping quite structured and just quite nicely in there. I Love Ashley is just gonna. I Love Ashley is gonna have a slightly harder time when you have Ali Peterson on this thing, because look at that damage coming out from the Quibble.
Yeah, it's already ridiculous at level 2, and we see Black Lotus just babysitting this lane here. I Love Ashley taking that anchor straight to the face, and yeah, for Vaguely Insane, their win conditions, I think, is dive onto the Samuel. He likes being at range and just poking out, like we saw first game, how good Jazzville was at landing those Malice and Verdicts, and that's why they were able to steamroll that game so quickly. But if Vaguely Insane can take that tool away from them, that'll be a huge advantage for them.
However, look at this in the jungle area. Seems like
look at that Maokai going so low, but Cocoa Butter will fall. First blood to Misfits.
Yeah, Samuel has a better early game than Sky, so really, Cocoa Butter needs to kind of respect that. Needs to realize that Samuel is going to have a stronger early game with the Drift and Dark going into Malice and Verdicts, and that's what they need to respect.
Yep, respect is the name of the game right here. But as we see, Jazzville taking a lot of damage. He's gonna scoot away from that benediction real quick, and Ali Peterson gonna come up, stomp them in. I Love Ashley having to respect this damage as Jazzville goes back to port, and Cocoa Butter gonna take that one to the straight one to the face.
Yeah, like what Cocoa Butter needs to do is Cocoa Butter needs to rotate up lane a little bit more and actually provide a lot of pressure on the Ali Peterson, because Sky has the better of Finn in terms of 4 barrage is literally just gonna, melt the face off the already damaged face of Finn naturally. So that's what Cocoa Butter needs to do, kind of cause that pressure, cause that distraction, make Maokai come up the lane in a bad rotation, and then you're able to rotate better overall and then maybe look to take the enemy jungle. So you need to get the better of the rotations against your enemy team, as it is a lot about strategy, a lot about rotations, all about just finding the point where you are able to get the better of your team, and this is what Vaguely Insane need to look to do. But great engagement onto Jazzville. As we do see that that I Love Ashley is just going to have a little bit of pressure with Jazzville and Ali Peterson just staying up in lane. It's very close between the two teams. 4.5 minutes in. You have Jazzville on 33 CS with I Love Ashley on 35. So there's nothing between the two teams. And there's that rotation coming up from Cocoa Butter that we have talked about. It does help. It wasn't much of a rotation. Didn't really show his face that much, but it did mean that he was able to kind of like just, show that he's able to rotate up nicely. I Love Ashley is got to be careful not to go too far and overextend. Fantastic fountain coming out from Finn. Just help secure Jazzville as I Love Ashley just trying to look for back. Does pop the healing flask, and now we see Cocoa Butter rotating up as the Maokai Drift and Dark coming out, looking to Malice and Verdicts and poke the hero out, and the turret is going to look to be secured, siege out by Misfits as his first turret down, coming out for Misfits in 5.5 minutes in this game. I do seem to have some issues on the side of Burger, so I am on my own going to look to cast and hype this game up for you guys between the two teams. Burger, are you back with us in this game?
Yep, I'm right back. Accidentally muted a little bit, but we see Cocoa Butter. He's doing some good work on Sky, and maybe even more OP than this Sky work is Imperium's play-by-play as Maokai gets dove onto here. Cocoa Butter spitting down a lot of damage. He gets stunned, and there's the zoning ult, and Maokai is just gonna barely get out. Perfect timing on the fountain to keep him alive. As I Love Ashley gets slammed, Fountain also going to come out. Oh, just dances away from the huge Oblivion there. Jazzville taking that Surrey strike. That's so much damage. The hook not gonna connect as Ali Peterson falls. It's a double kill and a triple kill. I love Ashley popping off on Black Feather. She's not the only play on
Oh, the blood is running through my veins so freaking much as Vainglory Insane just got one of the most epic turnaround aces I've seen so far, and they are just going to look to take advantage of this ace. They got a turret, and they are going to look to secure the goal line. I love Ashley rotating down nicely to the rest of his Vane team. Ali Peterson does spot him out as Jazzville does look to go for the way for it, but it is secured quite nicely by I Love Ashley. Vainglory Insane, they are far from out of it. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a really nice goldmine take, especially as Misfits rotated. Maokai gonna take that scout trap to the face, but it's all right as Vayne is going to port back, reset. You know, Breaking Point and Serpent Mask is online. Cocoa Butter's got his Dragon's Eye as well for Maokai, and Jazzville. He's only got the poison shift completed, but he's already doing a lot of damage in his kit already.
Yeah, the poison shift is doing a lot to help sustain in these team fights. Even though they did get ace, it is doing a lot. We saw the damage coming out. But one thing to point out now, as the goal lead has shifted over to Vainglory Insane slightly, we are seeing Cocoa Butter has got a closer to the Broken Myth second item as Mualkai has, so that's really going to play a slightly better part. One thing I do find interesting is I think Mualkai is going for Clockwork before Broken Myth, whereas I think Cocoa Butter is going for Broken Myth before Clockwork, so it's really interesting to see what these two heroes are going for.
Yeah, especially as the Divine Intervention is going to heal up Ashley as well as Fountain, but the damage is just too ridiculous. But he'll spin up onto Jazzville, and Maokai the next target for those spitting bullets. As Cocoa Butter is just going to dance around here, looking for the engage, but no, he won't find it. It's going to force to pop that flask and a 400 damage shot from Cocoa Butter. I Love Ashley doing a great job body blocking. But he will fall, unfortunately. Maokai's still full health, as he's going to rotate up, try to get a pick onto Cocoa Butter, but it looks like they're going to get away from it for this time.
Yeah, I like what Maokai is just trying to do, but no. Zone it out now. I don't think they're going to get a turret push on to the side of Vainglory Insane, but they will look to just steal some of their farm, maybe just create a little bit better, vision control, map control, as it is 3-man rotation coming out from Misfits on this 9.5 minute mark between the two teams. The goal difference is nothing between the two teams. 19.1k coming out from Misfits, 19.8 coming out from Vainglory Insane, simply because they were able to push the wave. And now we're saying Jasmine and Ali Peterson staying up in lane just to try and get that farm up, but it does leave Maokai exposed a little bit. However, that guiding strength coming out with the Dragon's Eye stacks, Drifting Dark, as I did point out, Maokai is going for
that anchor, and he's gonna come up. Mortal Wound's gonna make sure he can't heal all, but Jazzville going down so low already. The fountain will come out to keep him alive, as here comes Cocoa Butter with a lot of Dragon Eye stacks, and they're gonna have to back off as this amount of empowered damage is just too strong right now.
Yeah, Maokai is really playing a big part in these team fights, so it's one thing that now has to be focused on. Is the Quibble is blocked level 9, stun is coming out from Finn, so that's something. Look at Healing Flask, it's just gonna help keep I Love Ashley alive, but it's not gonna stop Maokai from looking to engage, and does get that kill onto the sky with the Malsenberg. Now Jasmine is just going to look to take down Mortal Wounds with the silence, and now the Oblivion does stun down and does put to sleep as the turret does go down on the side of Vainglory Insane.
Yeah, that was a really good push. Honestly, they just zoned out Black Lotus, so silence did all of that stuff, and as we see, the gold mine started up by Maokai and the Misfits. They seem to start to snowball right now, and if they can keep snowballing, then this this might be the last game for Vaguely Insane.
No, I don't. Yeah, but I think if there's one team that can stop this snowball, it is Vaguely Insane, because we are seeing I love actually trying to jump on to.
Oh, the hook gets blocked out though. And I Love Ashley will drop Maokai, gonna spit out these damage spells, and Cocoa Butter just dancing on the end of the fight, but that will be Black Lotus falling. Maokai is looking pretty unbeatable right now. Has 450 damage coming out of Malice and Verdict. It's just insane, and that's a 12-minute ace for Misfits.
Yeah, I just want to kind of point out the slight difference between I Love Ashley and Cocoa Butter between these Sky plays. I Love Ashley used in the last game, used his Sword Strike to reposition so nicely against Misfits, and I do know it's a different comp coming out from Misfits, but I really am confident that if it had been I Love Ashley on the Sky, we would have seen a lot less two-dimensional plays coming out from them, whereas in this game we're seeing them try to take on Misfits in a very linear manner, and that's not playing to their strengths. It's actually playing to Misfits' strengths really nicely, especially with the Samuel and Vox on their team.
Absolutely, and as the action centers around the goldmine pit, we see the Drifting Dark and do a lot of damage for Maokai, but they've dove onto him pretty well. He attacks item silence, and Maokai will. The silence can get blocked. Vox doing 12, 13, 14 breaking point stacks, doing so much damage onto I Love Ashley, and he will fall as well. It's not looking so good for Vaguely Insane, as Black Lotus just gonna try to escape with his life.
We have got to give, as we do see that Black Lotus might potentially go out of this fight. No, he does survive. I want to give really good credit to Vaguely Insane, because they focus on the Samuel really nicely in that team fight. I know they didn't win it, but they totally recognized and respected the damage coming out from the Samuel, from Maokai. So they really did a great job focusing the Samuel nicely and shutting the Samuel down. However, Jazzville has the breaking point, has the poison ship, and was able to build up to, I believe, 18, 20 breaking point stacks in that team fight, which did shut down I Love Ashley. What is really needed on the side of Vaguely Insane is that Echo Divine Intervention. When they have the Echo Divine Intervention, I really feel that Vaguely Insane will be able to take these team fights a little bit more securely, or at least survive them a lot better, because you will have that double healing coming out from Grace.
Absolutely. And as Misfits looks like they're going to reset here, now would be a great time for Vaguely Insane to pull out some hidden tricks in their bag to maybe clear this wave and take this team fight, because Misfits has dominated them in the last two team fights, and if they can reverse that, especially with Kraken coming up in 20 seconds, this game could swing either way.
It definitely could, and yeah, okay, the gold lead is over to the side of Misfits, which just leans more into Vaguely Insane playing a little bit more of a structured team fight when the late game.
Here comes the pull and the Oblivion. The Grace is gonna heal up I Love Ashley, but Mortal popped item silenced onto I Love Ashley, making sure he can't really do anything in these fights. But a Maokai will fall already, and so will Ashley. Black Lotus the next target, and that's a double kill for Vox. Cocoa Butter just gonna make sure that he can get away from this fight with his life, save the ace so that it's not an automatic game loss, because if he does, then that's gonna be just bad news bears for Vaguely Insane.
Bad news bears indeed, but again, I've got to give full credit to Vaguely Insane, because they're focusing so nicely on Maokai. However, because there isn't just that quite enough sustain, and as I said, that lack of double divine intervention is really stopping Vaguely Insane from just securing the ace. And one thing I want to point out, Ali Peterson on this spin is just being a fantastic tank on their team. He is yet to really go down very easily in these team fights, because Cocoa Butter has yet to get Broken Myth. that's another item that really will play into Vaguely Insane's strengths.
Yep, and their strengths are exactly what they're playing into now. As maybe on the board they're not looking like they're in the lead, but if they get one more team fight and a good Kraken push, this could swing it around. But they also could swing it towards Misfits as they look to push up Vane's jungle and make sure that they can't get this turret here.
Exactly.
What turret? There's no turret. Misfits gonna look to chunk down Coco. The item silence will land on the Black Lotus. And there goes the Oblivion will miss, but the resist from Finn going to make sure he doesn't get stunned, but he's gonna stun up Black Lotus and Ashley. Cocoa Butter gonna take that 400 Malice and Verdict straight to the face, but he will get healed up as this standoffish sort of playstyle is working for Vaguely Insane. They're getting the damage onto Maokai. He's gonna kite backwards. Fountain gonna be popped to keep him alive, but that doesn't even matter. Sky gonna do too much damage, but Cocoa Butter himself will fall. As a Black Lotus, the next target, Jazzville, he's gonna fall here. And now it's Finn versus Blackfeather in this lore fight as we see. But the Atlas will come out. The pull into is gonna be so good, but it is really close, Imperium, and it's gonna go final blow. Blackfeather.
However, you got to question is if that has taken enough time off the side of Vaguely Insane that they are not going to be able to take the Kraken. They are just going to be able to push the wave. However, that does give Vaguely Insane a lot of confidence going into his future team fights. And I want to talk about Cocoa Butter. After he gets a broken myth, in my opinion, he needs to sell the CP defense and get weapon power defense, because with the focus that Vaguely Insane are putting onto the Samuel and shutting him down so quickly, CP defense is useless after that. It is completely useless. Get a metal jacket and be more survivable against Jazzle, because Jazzle has Bone Soul. So yes, it's going to shred through armor, but if you don't have armor, it's shredding through everything. So definitely worthwhile taking away that CP defense and getting weapon power defense on the side of Cocoa Butter.
Yep, and Cocoa Butter we know is such a good player that he's just trying to dance around these fights, and he's relying on his 3 damage items, but as the item silence is going to land and he's going to be pulled straight in, stunned by the Quibble, pulled right back in. He is so low already. That No Gauntlet was such a clutch pickup, and he's already dead. Isle of Ashley is just trying to run behind this broken turret, and that's going to be a huge reset for Vaguely Insane.
It is, however, one thing to point out that did help Black Lotus to pick up the Echo, and it was a really good null wave onto the Grace, and then the pull to really help secure the kill and secure the Kraken over the side of Misfits. And that's where your kind of, experience shows on a team like Misfits, where they're able to catch out an enemy team like that, focus on that single hero. Even though it's a roam, you got the null wave, there's nothing the rest of Vaguely Insane were able to do. And now the Kraken goes over to the side of Misfits as it's going to bear down on the last 2 turrets of Vaguely Insane. But look at this, Burger.
They're doing so much work anyway. Isle of Ashley's gonna get healed up, but he's gonna get healed twice actually. But Maokai doing so much damage. Black Lotus getting stunned. Cocoa Butter taking these couple shots to the face here. Maokai going dangerously low, and he will fall. But so will Cocoa Butter. Black Lotus can't do anything, and the damage trading from Jazzville was so good. This looks like it's gonna be game 3 to Misfits, Imperium.
I don't want to say it's over till it's over, because it's not quite over, but however, that is going to be this over to the side of Misfits as the Kraken is nearly at full health, only 1 turret left, and my god, the dream has been slightly broken on the side of Vaguely Insane, but however, they pushed Misfits far and wide. They took them to game 3 series, but Misfits just got the slight better of Vaguely Insane in this game, and they win to take it and move on to the quarterfinals of the NACL Season 5.
wow, what a marathon for both of these teams. Misfits has proven that you can't underestimate anybody. And I don't know. I think we've broken down everything that we need to break down here, Imperium. So if you wanna sign this off with me,
I just want to give full respect and credit to both teams for giving us a symphony of a show. Vaguely saying they were the David of this game. They were the underdogs, and they proved a lot to the rest of the NACL, to themselves, to a team like Misfits, that you put yourself in that position and you push yourself hard, that you can take on teams like Misfits. So full credit to them. However, Misfits will move on to the quarterfinal of the NAL season 5. My name is Imperium. It's been an absolute pleasure to cast with you, Burger. Until next time, we will see you all soon.
see you guys.